Hey. So I just got back from my first trip to Halifax, and wow, there were a lot of good-looking girls in Winnipeg. Oh, that's silly. Oh, not that I've had any trouble with the ladies in my life, the good-looking girls, because I think it's of course it's because I'm Jewish, right? So they all know that expression, right? Once you go Jewish, it's all right. We don't want to show off, I hope you have a nice time. Maybe you tell a friend. Maybe not. Either way, I did my job. Enjoy. Go forward. Now, I am married. I'm actually a married guy. And the interesting thing is I am one half of an interracial couple. As you know, I'm Jewish. My wife is not only brown, she's also Muslim. This is true. I'm not making it up. Although I did marry her for the material. It's like a tax write-off for me. But as you can imagine, when we first got together, both our parents had some concerns. My mom actually, wanted to talk to me about the challenges we would face in our lives together, and she sat me down. She said to me, "Perry, you do know that your children, they won't look like you." I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I know, but I'm in love, and I don't care what my children look like, as long as they're Muslim." And we laughed and we laughed. Oh, Jewish parents love that sort of humor specifically. Oh, they love it. Oh, we had a good time that night. The laughing and the crying and the screaming and the why, God, why? Oh, it's a precious memory. So I got a little boy. Sorry, that came out really creepy. It sounded like I stole him or found him. I got a little boy. He's in my closet. No. I have a son. He's mine. I made him. Well, there you go. I don't know if women usually like that I say I made him, but, women are like, "What did you do? You made him?" I guess, to be honest, I probably just went, "Continue making him." I gave you the start, though. I got the fun part. But it's interesting, we have different cultures, but we really want to bring them together. Our son, we really want to have a really unique upbringing, combine different things in our cultures, like our two big holidays. We have Hanukkah and Ramadan. And it's going to be nice because they sometimes actually fall in the same time of the calendar year. So it's going to be kind of fun, sitting there with my son, be like, "Hey, buddy, happy Ramadan-Hanukkah. Hey, who's excited? Who's excited? You're crying. Why are you crying? What's wrong?" "Oh, it's not as good as Christmas." "Oh, it's not as good as Christmas. Ooh, Christmas. Ooh, what do they have? A tree and presents and the Santa Claus? Ooh. Well, do they have lighting candles and fasting?" Hey? No, they still crying? Oh. Okay, just go have a bagel. But not before sundown. Close. But I probably think the biggest problem we had, culturally, is that we had to name our son. And we wanted something that would be, you could be equally happy with. We wanted something that could really embrace both things. I wanted, a Hebrew-sounding name. She wanted, an Arabic-sounding name. And the only name that we could find that we could be equally happy with was Christian. I don't even know if that's the middle of anything. We're equally happy about that, I guess, is the point. But I actually used to teach English as a second language, and the reason I mention that is because I love accents. And that's one reason why I enjoy my in-laws, because they're from Bangladesh, and they have an awesome accent. They come equipped with that. I enjoy it. I like to dissect it, and their thing is, they can't say a Z sound. They can't say a Z. If they try to say it, it comes out like a J, like a J or like a Jw kind of sound. And that's awesome. I remember the first time I saw that, I was hanging out with her mom. We were going to hang out, and she was like, "Oh, we're going on a big shopping trip. We're going to Dwellers. Come on, we're going to Dwellers. Oh, it's cold out. Do up your jipper." Then we'll go home. I'll make my famous grilled zucchini. Oh, this looks great. It looks quite a lot like zucchini, actually. Oh, it is zucchini. Well, I will have some. But that's fine, accents or whatever, pretty common, and it's just like something that somebody can't say. And like, for instance, like my mom, she had a lot of things she couldn't say. For example, anything quietly. That's something similar, yeah. Yeah, she never really figured it out. She should never have been a spy or anything. Not that she became one, but she, nothing inconspicuous, nothing, discerning with her. And, that could be a problem. She would never believe you that she wasn't whispering. It was really awesome for me as a teenager. I remember one time I was in grade 10, and I was on the phone in the kitchen. And it's one of these moments you always remember. I was on the phone with this girl that I was like crazy in love with. And I was on the phone there, and my mom walks in the kitchen, and she goes, "Perry." I'm like, okay. She gives me that, "No, I understand. It's okay." She just stands there staring at me, and she just goes, "Perry! Perry! Do you still have diarrhea?" So I found the medicine. You said you had the diarrhea. She can't hear me. And this thing went on for like 10 minutes because clearly I can't stop it because I'm on the phone with this girl I'm not hanging up with. She won't stop doing what she's doing because to her, she is whispering. And let's face it, people, the main reason I can't just leave the room is because the story takes place in 1989. The phone cord is tethered to the wall. Now, thanks, guys. Now, getting back to my in-laws, because they are lovely, and everything's cool now. The relationship's great now, but, in the beginning, like I said, there's a little bit of getting used to things. It actually took about 3 or 4 years there till they actually accepted me and wanted me to come over and meet them face to face. And that was an interesting time. I wanted to be cool with that, and that was fine. So they live about like 3 or 4 hours outside of Toronto where I live, and I was like all excited. They wanted me to come up to their place and stay over for the weekend. They told me they want to take me out to like a family thing for the day, like an amusement park, I don't know what, something like that, right? So I go over, and I'm going to bed that night, and I tell my wife, like, I want to wake up early in the morning. I'm going to go downstairs. I'll hang out with your mom, help her make breakfast or something. It's going to be great. So morning comes, I start creeping down the stairs, and I hear her mom and her dad in the kitchen, and they're having a little argument, but they're whispering, and I can't hear them whispering because they're clearly not Jewish. So I have to keep creeping closer and closer, and as I'm getting closer to the kitchen, I start hearing it a little more clearly, and just as I'm just on the precipice of the opening to the kitchen there, I just hear her dad go, "No, I hate the Jew. The Jew makes you pay more. I am uncomfortable. I don't like the Jew." And I'm like, holy. I start backing up, and I bump into my wife. She's standing right behind me. I'm like, "Did you?" She goes, "The zoo, Perry. The zoo. They wanted to take you to the zoo." I know. And I was still a little bit offended because who doesn't like the zoo? Really. It's awesome. Animals, it's fun. But it's kind of fun when you just meet any in-laws, right? Like, because the parent, dynamic, it's interesting. And my wife's thing is that she's like the favorite. Her parents are crazy about her. They love her so much. And her name is Nahid, by the way. I should mention that because I'm going to reference it. And I want you to know what Nahid is. I don't want you to be like, "That sounds delicious. Is it spicy? What's a Nahid?" It's her name. So her parents are crazy in love with her. There's nothing that's too much or over the top that they could do to show her how much they love her. So a few weeks back, they drive, a couple hours in Toronto, hang out with her. They buy her like a new wardrobe, take her out to dinner. Everything's really cool, and they're just about to take her home. And her dad wants to get one more little nugget of love in there, right? He's like, "Oh, Nahid, look, it's Tim Hortons. You know how much you used to love Tim Hortons. Why don't we go on my little Timbit? Why don't I take you?" She's like, "I don't really," and he takes her to Tim Hortons against her will, right? So she's standing there. She knows her dad. He just wants to do that nice thing for her. She's like, "You know what, Dad? I'll just get a walnut crunch, and I'll just get it." "Oh, one walnut crunch. Yes, excuse me. I want that one. Get the big one. Yeah, put it in a bag. Put it on my bill. Okay, I want it for my daughter. Isn't she beautiful? We're very proud of her. Well educated. Yeah, yeah. Put it in a bag. Put it on my bill. Okay, let's go." So they give her the donut or whatever the hell the thing is, this walnut crunch, and they take her home to me, and day passes, no problems, nothing wrong, until the next morning when the phone rings, and it's her mom, and she's frantic. She's like, "Perry, put Nahid on the phone. I need to talk to her. It's an emergency. Get her on the phone right now." Like, "Nahid, your mom's on the phone. I don't know if they got in an accident on the way home. I think they got hurt or something." She's like, "Mom, are you guys okay? Did you guys get hurt?" She's like, "No, you forgot your walnut crunch. You forgot it in the car, Nahid. Don't worry, we wrapped it up. It's still good. We're coming to Toronto. We're on our way. We don't mind. She's like, don't come around. She won't listen to me. Puts the dad on the phone. Nahid, what is your problem? You don't want the walnut crunch? Yesterday you said, I want it. I mean, your little Timbit, put it in a bag, put it on my bill, and now you don't want it anymore. Well, it's something nice for you, Nahid. And this is what we would do. Why do you have to be so difficult, Nahid? Why can't we? Oh, your mother is crying now, Nahid. We want something nice for you, and this one, let us in there. Just let us love you. Let us bring the donut. It'll be so important to us. She's like, okay, Dad, fine, stop. Just bring the donut to Toronto. Drive all that way here. If it makes you happy, just come now. He's like, oh, okay, Nahid, don't worry. We're coming right now. I look out the window. They're already on the porch. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for hanging out. My name's Perlmutar.